Your intuition is very powerful for you, your gut check. So you have this intuition about this film, which was ruined me at that time to use me. And then you are several months into it. You're trying to write the screenplay, but you're struggling. How was that for you? Because you know yourself so well that you know that you trust what you feel, what you're directed toward.
It was terrible. It was terrible. It's just part of the process. You have to go down detours. And how do you get through that? I mean, honestly, you just grit your teeth and keep going and try to believe in that original inspiration that you had. Because when you first get the idea for a movie, it's like super clear. It's like, I don't want to say HD or 4K, I'm going to say 8K clarity. And then you have to turn it into a screenplay, then you have to actually start filming it, and then it gets blurry like, you know, 1980s analog TV. And you're like, where's my 8K clarity? It was so clear when I had the idea. And honestly, that's just the process. You just have to commit to it, accept it's going to suck for a while, and believe that you're going to come back to that original pure idea that got you so excited. I also really believe you have to explore bad ideas to get to the good one. So you need to reframe it as, okay, you know what? I went down a path that just didn't work creatively. Great. I'm making progress. I can put that aside. That's not what this film's going to be. Now that I know that, I'm getting closer to the ideas that are going to work. So a lot of it is this kind of crazy sounding positive self-talk, but if I'm being honest, that's the kind of stuff that keeps me going, because it's hard. It's hard when it's not working, you know? And pretty much give yourself time, keep pushing, and have faith in that original idea. If it was strong enough to make you feel something, you know that there's some nugget of gold, and you got to get to it through perseverance.
Well, it reminds me too of how you went to film school after you'd made a movie or two, and that's so interesting because most people it's the opposite,
right? And
then they're either jaded or they love it, but you use it as inspiration.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, look, everyone's different, so I don't want to recommend anything to anyone.
Oh, sure.
But for me, I needed to go and make stuff on my own, outside of any system. I needed to take risks, fail, succeed on my own, find my own voice. I got to a point where I just couldn't keep doing that, and I was burned out. And that was where film school came in. And I really studied, okay, what is Hollywood screenwriting? What is the hero's journey? You know, all these really fundamental things. That was instrumental for me. And I've just made a movie that's kind of edgy and breaks the rules somewhat. I could break them because I learned all the rules. You know, I know how to write a 3-act structure. You know, I did the wonderful Michael Haig course. I've seen him on your show. All that stuff is brilliant. And if you do want to make like avant-garde, edgy movies, learn the fundamentals of you know, what you'd call like studio Hollywood storytelling. Learn those beats inside out. Then you really can break the rules. One other thing I will say, film school is such a luxury. And I went into it with a funny attitude. I went into it like, I want to make my worst stuff here. Now, I don't mean that I set out to do an unprofessional job. I wanted it to be as good as it could be, but I pushed myself. I made stuff that I hadn't tried to make before because there was a safety net. I was at film school. If I made something truly horrendous, I could make it go away and it would never see the light of day. It's not like it's going to be a commercially released film and my reputation's on the line. So film school for me was great. I tried a bunch of different things. I realized there are certain things I kind of suck at. And I kind of found my voice through that process. So really, I had a lot of failures at film school. And because I kind of got those out of my system in a safe environment, my work got a lot better after I graduated. And I think that's why film school is actually good for people. It's not that they give you some magic secret source. You can learn a lot online. You can learn a lot from watching Film Courage.
Oh.
Truly, you can. You could probably learn everything they could teach you. But there's something about that process and failing in a safe environment, figuring out who you are, just giving yourself a year or two to walk on the tightrope knowing there's a safety net there, that can be huge. So that's why I would encourage people to go to film school. Give yourself that luxury to fail with a safety net. It's worked for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that there's all these online classes and stuff, but there's really something about being around other people, even if it's just watching what they're doing.
100%. I mean, it's not just about what they teach you, it's the cohort, you know? And I have collaborated with the directors who are in my class. You know, I've acted a couple times for Casey Anning, who's an incredible Australian director who's really going places. Stephen McCallum, who just made his first feature, 1%. I think it's called Outlaws in America. They've become good friends and collaborators. And, you know, they like encouraged me to get back into acting. They were so adamant about it, and they cast me as an actor. And that really kind of kickstarted my acting career again. And then while I've been working on, you know, directing and developing the script, it's like, you know, I went and did San Andreas and got to work with Paul Giamatti. I went and did Portlandia. I've been shooting TV commercials in Portland. So it's kind of like, I really credit film school with leading me back to acting in a funny way. So, yeah.